Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris, man. As always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. Today I'm going to do another short, brief video, and I actually kind of touched on this topic before, but I'm going to expand on it a little bit more because I think it's important. Because the purpose of my channel was to educate the young folks as far as music education. If you really want to do this, this is how you do it from the business aspect or just simply playing and you enjoy just playing. So, that's my way of giving back as far as trying to enlighten and educate, the young folks. And in anybody's age, not just specifically them, but mainly the young folks. And I've touched on this topic before, and I've had a conversation with a gentleman regarding this, so I decided that I was going to expand on this because I'm going to say this, and this has nothing to do with music, but actually it ties in with it pertaining to me. A couple of years ago, I had an eye-opening experience, probably in 2006. I almost died. And I almost died because I was given medication that made my body very toxic. And a lot of people didn't think I was going to make it. I even had two doctors tell me that you need to get your business in order. And the other one told me that can he use my blood slides in his class to teach because he's never seen so much toxicity in anybody's blood system. I said, do whatever you need to do to help anybody else. But long story short, I'm still here because I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon, but that's up to the man upstairs. But what helped me save my life was being educated to stuff that I needed to know about that I had no idea that was going on. And most of us don't. We basically live a very, very normal life. We don't think about things outside the realm of our existence because we don't have to. And it's just too much junk in your head to be worried about everything else that's not pertaining to you. And music is kind of the same way. When you're not really totally tuned in to what's happening, you kind of believe what you've been told. And that's kind of that whole thing about the guitar and the wood thing, The only time wood is very important to the guitar is when you're playing an acoustic instrument because the sound is coming out of that wood. That makes a difference. The wood on electric guitars is just to hold up the electronics, period. Of course, there might be a difference in sound and a different type of wood versus a different type, but it's so mundane that it's not even necessarily important to even worry about that. But you got some people that's really bent on that, the wood got to be this way, and if it don't, the guitar sounds different. I look at it this way. My responsibility is to entertain the average guy, put together a song, put together a show, and entertain them. They're not concerned about your guitar sounds different because you're using different wood. But we've been conditioned to believe stuff that's just not true, and we refuse to let it go. Because again, I've had over 100 guitars. I played probably more guitars than most people here, and I really don't hear that big of a difference. I mean, of course, each guitar sounds different because it's just a different guitar. But as far as the wood is the make and break of it, it's nonsense because I don't know what kind of wood there. I'm not a woodsmith. I'm a guitar player. And that's my focus, is to make music, not to worry about the wood and all that other stuff. But, it kind of ties in with my concept of perception of this when I talked about the music theory thing. And I'm sure people that play music have run across a few of these guys. They're not the best at what they do, but they think they're the best at theory, which doesn't make a difference because you're trying to make music and not worry about tabulation. That, they go on this tirade about what key you're in and things pertaining to that, and which is not really necessary unless you are writing scores or playing in a Broadway band and an orchestra. But most of us are going to be playing other people's stuff in clubs until we die. That's just the bottom line. So the focus should be on just learning the chords and calling it a day, as opposed to I'm sitting here and this should be in the key E minor, and the key E minor have these certain chords. No one cares. The average person that enjoys your music know nothing about theory. They just want you to play. So that whole thing about this big production of you got to know all this stuff. And again, unless you plan on being a John Williams, writing scores for movies and stuff of that nature, it's not necessary. But you can't change some people's opinion on stuff that they've been told and they've been marinating this for 20, 30 years and they refuse to let it go. But unfortunately, it is what it is. I don't see any sense in me spending $3,000 on a guitar that's most likely going to get stolen anyway. And that $3,000 guitar is not going to make me a better guitar player. What makes me a better guitar player is just studying. Because I've seen guys that play a $60 guitar that jam versus the guy who got a $2,000 guitar that can't play it. So it's pointless. But we've been victims of the marketing in this country or in this world. And like I said, until I had that eye-open experience a couple of years ago when, death was knocking on my door, I bought into that nonsense too. But now my eyes are more wide open as far as looking at everything around me, and why is it the way it is? So, again, I just thought I would make this video about that wood thing because, again, it doesn't make that big of a difference. Again, of course, yeah, it's going to sound different, but why is that a big deal? It's supposed to sound different. If it's two different guitars, they sound different. That's just like with cars. Every car drives differently. The braking system on the acceleration, the steering, no two cars are exactly alike, even if they're the same model. So it's the same thing with music instruments. Yeah, there's going to be slight difference in timbre and sound and those things. But my focus is being a musician, not being a tech guy and worried about wood or electronics, because there's guys that's what they do. And that's what they need to focus on. And they're not focused on playing. They focus on getting that sound right, from a electronic standpoint. And that's how it should be with musicians. Focus on playing that instrument well. Not worrying about the wood or should I modify my pickups or change the bridge. That ain't going to make you no better player. So, that's my spill on that. And, it is what it is. But until next time, take care. And thanks for listening.